Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, who I've said about everybody tonight so far. He goes to Kings. He's smarter than the average guy in here, and I'm just gonna guess. Please give it up for Zack the writer.
Did Dale Earnhardt pull a Princess Diana, or did Princess Diana pull a Dale Earnhardt? I can never really figure out which one of those media whores died first. But hey, speaking of Mr. Earnhardt, do you know what the last thing was that went through his mind right before he died? The steering wheel. And hey, while on NASCAR drivers, don't you love it any time that somebody claims that they're a professional at something, they die at it? And don't you just kind of hope they do it too? Just before they go off the ramp or dive into the water or jump off the building, something really bad happens that has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not they're a professional. And you just sit there watching, smiling. I know I am. Now, just to change the subject up a little bit, you know two things that don't go together very well? A midget and an NBA-regulated slam dunk contest. Two other things that don't go together very well are Texans and spelling bees. Texans scared the shit out of me because they're the kind of people that'll buy a Bible and a gun at the same fucking time. Have you noticed that? Take the word holy to a whole new level. I can see through it. Do women get blue cunt? I would just assume that if guys really hate getting blue balls, women would clearly avoid the dreaded blue cunt. And speaking of sexually active women, I recently found out that there are female sex offenders. Why was I not fucking informed about this sooner? That's some shit I want to know, man. And what a horrible idea to label women as sex offenders. That's the house you hit like 6 or 7 times on Halloween. If you know what I mean. And speaking of if you know what I mean, that's an overly used innuendo in the wrong way. If you know what I mean is derogative towards sexual innuendos, period. I'm getting tired of people using the goddamn thing in the wrong way. This is how it's supposed to be used, the right way. We're gonna go bury some trees out in the backyard, if you know what I mean. The wrong way, we're gonna have sex, if you know what I mean. These fucking Nimrods that keep using it the wrong way. I got a long way to get home, if you know what I mean. Yeah, we know what you mean, you simple-minded asshole. You live far away. Either learn to use the innuendo the right way or get stabbed. Those are your fucking options. Another thing I get really tired of people telling me is, oh man, I don't know, if I didn't have my head attached to me, I don't know what I would do. You wouldn't do a goddamn thing. First of all, if you lost your head, you would pick it up and you'd find a way to attach the fucking thing to yourself so it wouldn't fall off again. Same thing with these dumbass motherfuckers that tell you, oh man, I'd be dangerous if I have a brain. You're pretty fucking dangerous without the goddamn thing, man. And you would think that they would logically figure out that if they have a brain that they would be dangerous. They wouldn't be dangerous. Simple solution, kill these people. Now, since I am ranting and raving up here like I do well, I personally think it's time to have the ultimate minority, don't you? To run for president, by the way, because with all the shit that Obama dealt with, you know, oh, we have the first African-American president. I think in 2012 we need to elect the ultimate minority president, a black lesbian atheist. See, because Obama's the super minority right now. He's a black man living in the White House, which is located in White Devil Country. Or DC. DC, of course, stands for devout cracker, okay? See, I just want to see the ultimate minority so I can hear what they would refer to her as on the news all the time. The first female African-American same-sex non-believer free country leader. Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Now, since we're talking about names, I got another complaint, and that deals with nicknames. Because nicknames, number one, just show that you're fucking dumb, and they show that you're really lazy too. To take a person's name and then shorten it so you don't have to say as much shows that you are incredibly fucking lazy. And it goes without logic too. Think about it. You have people like me, Zachary. People refer to you as Zach. You have people like Matthew. They refer to them as Matt. You have people like Jonathan, John. Then, they have to go and take it a step further with the spelling of the name. Instead of spelling Zack, Z-A-C-K, they spell it Z-A-K, removing one letter so you have to write down even less. Then you have people like Jason, and they'll just refer to them as J. One fucking letter to designate somebody. Isn't that perfect? And hey, we all know the one reaming asshole who always loved referring to himself by his initial, George W. Bush. Always loved telling everybody, I'm W. Have you ever noticed, though, that you can't spell weapons of mass destruction without W? And you can't spell misdirection without M, which is W upside down. Too illogical? And while we're on the little tidbit of nicknames, parents, do me a favor, call your kid by their fucking name, would you please? You spent 9 months growing this tumor inside of you, only to name it Richard, so it's named Dick for the rest of its life. Then you have to go on and confuse the little bastard by naming him some dumbass nickname like Bunky or Scout or Jimmy Jam. Pick a fucking name to attach to this doomed failure and go back to working on your next potential abortion. Speaking of kids, I figured out how to deal with identical twins. You disfigure one of them at birth. That way there's no competition between the two of them because the pretty one knows he's always better. And it helps me sort out who's who. Now the last thing I'm going to cover up here tonight are memorial tattoos. I don't get these things. I understand memorials to a degree. You write somebody's name and their date of death on a stone or on something that'll last forever. That's the point, to last forever. Why the fuck would you put it on yourself? That's the irony of the memorial tattoo. It's not gonna last forever. People die, hence why you have the memorial tattoo. It's completely fucking pointless. What do you do when you die? Does somebody get a memorial tattoo to memorialize the memorial that you have? And if so, at some point you have to designate somebody to constantly keep getting new tattoos for everybody that dies. And have you ever noticed that with memorial tattoos, for the most part, the people that are always getting these particular ones are for people that did something that they deserved. Some dumbass who got drunk and did a lot of cocaine and went down a winding road at 100 miles an hour crashing into a telephone pole. Do these people really deserve to be memorialized or remembered? Do we really need to advocate that fuck-ups are the people that we need to look at and admire? The simple answer is no.